Good morning, Sean here. It is time for our Revelstoke Mayor Report with Mayor Gary Stalls. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, Sean.
How's Gary?
I'm good.
Did you miss me?
Of course.
Good.
And you're out touring around and, going to a wedding and, doing all this fun stuff.
Signing autographs in the mall. And
There we go.
So, Gary, I was away, had to do some things for the family, and I'm trying to catch up on what's going on. So I don't have any particular questions, so I thought I would just jump right in with you to go, what's gone on it's only been 10 days, but what's gone on in the last 10 days, anything new or different, and what's relevant for me to know you to share with the community.
Sure. Well, we'll talk first about the big white marshmallow downtown.
The Ghostbusters?
Yeah, of course they're here. Right. You should be excited. City Hall has now been wrapped in white plastic. There's scaffolding underneath. They're starting to do the refurbishment of the outside. So they are taking off all of the old stucco and then going to refinish the outside of it, take out the windows. So the water's been getting in under the existing stucco and kind of delaminating. Pieces have been falling off. So they're in there now taking that off. And windows have been, the frames have been rotting and the glass has been sliding around in the frame. So they're going to be redoing those as well. So we hope to have that stuff done by December. So we will have a building that looked like the original from 1939 when they are complete.
Nice. Okay.
So just want to let people know that work is continuing on your Townley Roundley.
I love it. Brilliant.
Installation of new water mains. There may be some water service interruptions as they reinstall water to the affected residents. So they've got some water lines running overground right now, but they're going to reinstall everything so it's underground and everything's back up. And then in Lower Town, the college entrance will change from First Street to 2nd and Hanson for about 2 weeks as they're refurbishing the streets down in that area. And then I just want to mention we've got a couple of commissions that are looking for people. So we have one vacancy on Economic Development Commission for a 2-year term. And we need a few more candidates for 2-year terms on Heritage Advisory Commission. So the Commission for Economic Development is a CSRD commission, works in conjunction with the city to provide advice and guidance on economic development issues. And the Heritage Advisory Commission advises councils on matters relating to the built form, culture, and natural heritage of the community. So if people are interested, by all means, put their name in at admin at revelstoke.ca and get your name on that commission.
It's definitely a worthwhile board. I sat on that one on the economic development, but then with the kids, my time frame got a little tighter. It's weird, eh?
Yeah.
Between 4 and 8 p.m. every day, it's sort of like, I don't know, hell. I'm sure it'll be a wonderful hell one day, but yeah, it's a little hectic. But so it was worthwhile and educational, and it definitely gives you a better idea. And it gives you a bit of a leg up on what's going on in town before it even really happens sometimes.
Right, that's correct.
So it was definitely useful to be a part of that. So if you are a big fan of development, if you love sitting in board meetings especially, then it's definitely a board meeting for you or a board to join. But it was useful.
Good. That's good. And then we just want to make mention, Task Force has asked me to remind people that we are welcoming people from other provinces as long as they follow what we call the Revy rules and do what we've been doing here in BC about keeping safe, physical distancing, keeping clean, that sort of thing. So people are welcome. And
are we closing down downtown at all? I can't remember.
At this point, we are not. The Economic Task Force has kind of talked with the residents and given them some options. So if we need to go that route where we close it down for a few hours in the evening, Friday and Saturday night, that's something that's open to the businesses downtown. But right now they're talking to them about parklets. So some people will be putting some displays out in the parking space in front of their business, and they'll work with the city on that. So.
When my dad and Kirsten and I and Jack went to my sister's wedding, it was in Kelowna, so we had to burn the day off before we went to the lake for the wedding, and
right.
So we were downtown, and I really don't go downtown, not Cloverdale, Kelowna. And they had shut their street down, Bernard Street. So the other Easy Rock station, Sun FM, that's all on that street. So I was wandering down to work as well. But it was all shut down, and their patios were well into the road, well into the road.
Yeah.
And my new brother-in-law's father was going, holy smokes, you'd never know there was a pandemic going on, because everyone under the sun was going to Kelowna for what looked like some big celebration, but it wasn't. It was just people wandering around. But it seemed to work. We didn't really have any concern. There were a lot of people, but at the same time, we weren't near anybody. I don't like being near people. So we were by ourselves with our family, and others were doing their own thing. But it seemed to be working.
Well, it works from the tourist perspective. From the business perspective, news reports coming out of the businesses in downtown Kelowna saying they're absolutely devastated because the roads are closed. They can't get product into their stores. There's nobody coming into their stores to support them. So now we're talking about retailers. We're not talking about the restaurants. We're talking about the retailers.
Oh, the restaurants were busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there seems to be a problem there. And so the task force here in Revelstoke's been conversing with both the restaurants, the bars, and the retailers to give them the information to say, hey, this is what you can do. Tell us what's going to work for you. And so it's good to see that communication going back and forth.
Well, that's good that they chatted with them. So if anyone else up here saw that, they would be wondering, why aren't we doing that? And at least they know they've been in cahoots with them and figured out a little bit more about their end of the woods.
Good.
Is there anything else that's exciting? Hey, weren't we supposed to have a new counselor eventually? Like, that's kind of gotten forgotten. Are we going to be doing that? Or
we're kind of engaging with the provincial government to say, what can we do with an election? Right now, they're saying no elections because you can't have more than 50 people. And so we're looking at that saying, okay, give some rules. So they are looking themselves internally to advise us as to how we get to do this and go forward.
It's going to be like a name in a hat, and we'll just draw it, and it is what it is. I'm going to write in a bunch of names to that hat, and they're going to be like, what? Like, oh, poor, Mo Gadwall. All of a sudden, I didn't want to be on it. Well, your name was in there. I don't know. That's what it is.
All right. There we go.
Thanks, Gary.
All right. Thanks, Sean.